Hey guys, so this is my review of Spider-Man 794, and thank goodness, 794. That's like right on the cusp of no longer dealing with that. And that right there is so prevalent in this issue that it is borderline awful. Now, I say it's borderline awful. The art, okay. The story, But, I mean, you literally go through this whole story. Okay, so this is Threat Level Red, Part 1. This doesn't even happen to the very last page. It's a lot of filler, a lot of carryover from the start of this Amazing Spider-Man run that happened right after Secret Wars, where Parker has his Parker Industries and stuff like that. So this issue literally just kind of ties up those loose ends a little bit, but I mean I don't know. It really just kind of blew my mind, some of the dialogue. That, and again, of course, guest starring Mockingbird, because even though in Venom Inc. that we just finished up, where they're like, let's not be together so much. Look who's back, because Spider-Man can't do anything without Mockingbird. So the catch up is pretty straightforward. So a year ago, exactly 1 year ago, Spider-Man locked the Zodiac Scorpio in the Zodiac dimension, which apparently gives you knowledge of exactly 1 year's worth of knowledge. So Scorpio is going to escape 1 year later, and so Spider-Man and Mockingbird, and then these three scientists or those two scientists are going to be there to intercept him. Another thing I noticed about this book, and maybe I just have never noticed it before, but why do you need two assistant editors and two editors? I mean, it's one book. You'd think that an assistant editor and an editor, or maybe an assistant editor, an editor, and a senior editor would be able to take care of that. I feel like you're kind of just, I don't know, nitpicking. So anyway, start off, there's obviously an ex-secret S.H.I.E.L.D. location called the Lockbox. It's no longer run by S.H.I.E.L.D., it's run by this other organization. They don't ever name them, but they're holding the Zodiac key. Meanwhile, a drop-off is happening of another item that could, that needs to be locked away in this safe facility. But, of course, it's a double cross, and these people have other motives. And again, so you have a scene, and then a twist in the scene, and then you go to an ad. Now this, I'm excited about. I cannot wait to read this. Old Chippy Z, again, I'm so torn. I really want him to take over Amazing Spider-Man, but Spectacular Spider-Man is primo. And that's another thing. The whole point of this, since Marvel Legacy, the Spider-Man is supposed to kind of be back down to earth. Yet we're kind of still having a more fantastical adventure. So anyway, double cross. In the double cross, the Zodiac key escapes into space. But at first you're kind of like, okay, well maybe they're there for that. But they make it clear that they're after something else. I hate double page ads. Double page ads are the worst. So here we have, again, just some horrible dialogue, about Spider-Man flying, flying coach because he can't afford, to fly a plane or whatever, and it's just so whiny and, if you read Spectacular Spider-Man, especially like the last probably 2 or 3 issues, I mean, Spider-Man sounds mature. There are times he's decisive. He seems to always have a plan about him. And even when he doesn't have a plan, he manages to make the hard decisions. And Dan Slott manages to just make Spider-Man whiny. So of course, they contain Scorpio. He gets out, and I know you like monologuing, so we'll let you sit here all day. You can't do anything without your key. And of course, then the key comes, and they get exploded. So now Zodiac has, it's still 1 hour before his year is up, which means he still has the knowledge of everything that has happened or will happen on this day up for 1 more hour. So in order to extend that, he needs to continue. So he's going to use that knowledge that he has to make that happen. Kind of interested in this too, this Infinity Prime. Obviously, I'm sure this will have something to do with Wolverine, coming back. So then we flash back to the lockbox, and the 2 mercenaries are kind of mowing through people. The guards are like, "Hey, what is through here could kill everyone. It's not, whatever the person's paying you, it's not worth it." And they're like, "Yes, it is." So obviously Zodiac goes to Big Ben for some reason, and again, really crappy dialogue. He's like, "Hey, I found where Scorpio went." And of course Mockingbird's like, "You mean the non-stop path of destruction? You're a real Sherlock Holmes." And it's like, come on. I mean, you don't need to smack the dude down every time. I mean, give him a little make Spider-Man actually feel like a hero, not just a pandering, "Oh, I'm just here for the dialogue" kind of thing. Oh, and this Spider-Man, that Nutters is smashing Big Ben. That Nutters is smashing that. I had to read that twice because at first I was like, there's no way that could literally be as stupid as it just sounded in my head. And I read it again, and sure enough, it was literally still just as stupid. In fact, I'm going to read it again. Spider-Man, that Nutters smashing up Big Ben. That Nutters smashing up Big Ben. I mean, it's horrible. Just horrible. So Spider-Man gets up there. Zodiac has a trap set up. Spider-Man tries to smash it, but of course, since he's just a big wuss in this in Amazing Spider-Man, he's unable to do anything. But he then realizes that he can throw that the key will help Scorpio if he calls it. So Spider-Man has the bright idea of just throwing him out the window, and he's like, "Please be right about this, please be right about this." And I had to look twice at this, and this art kind of bothered me. So at first I thought he threw him, right? And then he was jumping down to save him. No, it didn't work. Because, I mean, again, the red and, the red and blue looks very much like Spider-Man's outfit. And I was like, well, why is he wearing a cape? When did Spider-Man get a cape? And, I had to look back here, look here. And then I was like, oh, there's an M right there. That M, oh, that's Scorpio. Again, it's very hard to distinguish the two of them, especially in kind of an action shot like that. But needless to say, it works. The key comes and saves them, and they're able to kind of save the day. The good thing, the very, very good thing about this is it sets up a very interesting story arc, which will be continued in red at the end, that it's adequately named. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe over here. Watch some more videos, and I'll see you next time.